Hi, welcome to lecture number 11 of Ultimate Python course. So before I start, I'll always say this, don't write the lecture notes. Lecture notes will be provided to you in the description, and also slides will be provided to you in the description. You don't have to write them. And next thing is, I will be very slow while explaining concepts. Please watch my videos at 2x speed. You will save a lot of time. Don't watch my videos at 1x. Watch it at 2x. Okay. Let's begin. So operators in Python, we have already seen arithmetic operators, assignment operators. What are operators? They are generally symbols which perform some operation on the values or variables, right? You already know that. I don't have to repeat it again. So now we are going to cover comparison operators. Now we are going to cover comparison operators and logical operators. Okay, so comparison operators are used to compare two values or two variables or one value and a variable, and it is generally going to give you true or false as the output. And similarly, logical operators. So logical operators work on Boolean variables or Boolean values, and they also give you Boolean output, okay, either true or false. They are generally important, very important for decision making. I'll show you. So we have already seen arithmetic operators, you know them, and we have already seen assignment operators, you know them, and we have already seen floating point precision problem. When we are using floating point numbers, we are getting some problems, right? We have seen those problems also. Now let us understand comparison operators. Comparison operators compare two values or variables, right? So when you want to compare two values or variables, you use comparison. See, all these basics you already know from other programming languages. If you already are very good with them, just skip the video. But if you don't know the basics of this, just continue the video. But if you know, just skip the video, it will save your time. So whenever you do comparison operation on two values or variables, the output will be a Boolean value, which will be either true or false. This is extensively used in conditional statements. Conditional statements means like if statement. If, while, do while, all those places, whenever condition is required, we are going to use this comparison operation. Now list of comparison operations are double equal to. Double equal to checks if two values are same or not. Not equal. Not equal checks if two values are not equal or not. Greater than checks if one value is greater than the other. Less than check if one value is less than the other. Greater than or equal to checks if one value is greater than or equal to other value. Less than or equal to checks if one value is less than or equal to other value, right? So let's look at equal to. Now if you write something like this, if you compare is 5 equal to 5, it is yes, it is true. Is 5 equal to 3? It is false. 5 equal to 5 is true. 5 equal to 3 is false. Now, if you write a program like this, print 10 equal to 10. See, it is not assignment. It is double equal to. It is not single equal to. It is not single equal to. It is double equal to. There are two equals are there. Now 10 equal to 10 means we are checking if 10 is equal to 10. Yes, 10 is equal to 10. Therefore, the output will be true. If you are checking 10 equal to 20, 10 is not equal to 20. Therefore, the output is going to be false, right? Now, similarly, you can check anything. You can compare two strings also. Check if hello equal to hello. Yes, both are equal. So true. Check if hello equal to world. Both are not equal. False. Right. Now, let's check not equal to. So 5 and 3. 5 and 3. Are they not equal? Yes, 5 and 3 are not equal. Therefore, the output is true. 5 and 5, are they not equal? They are equal. Therefore, the output is false. If you write a program like this, 10 is not equal to 20, it is true. If you are printing 10 is not equal to 20, what will be printed? True will be printed. 10 is not equal to 10, what will be printed? False will be printed. Why? Because 10 is equal to 10, right? Now, apple is not equal to banana, that is true, right? It will print true. Apple is not equal to apple, it is false, right? Please watch the video at 2x speed, okay? Especially when it comes to slides, I need to read and explain. Now, greater than and less than symbols. So, greater than returns true if the left value is greater. See, if you have greater, if 10, 1, yes, left value is greater than 1, then it is true. Left value is greater than right value, then it is true. See this, 10 is greater than 7, it is true. 3 is less than 8, it is true. 5 is greater than 10, it is false, right? So if you try to print something like this, print 10 is greater than 7. 10 is greater than 7 is true, right? Therefore true will be printed. 5 is greater than 10. 5 is greater than 10 is false, therefore false is printed. Minus 3 is greater than minus 5. Yes, it is true. Minus 10 is greater than minus 2. It is false, right? Now, greater or equal, less or equal, lesser or equal. So, if you write like this is greater or equal. If you write like this, it is lesser or equal, right? So, greater or equal returns true if the left value is greater than or equal to the right value. Less than or equal to is equal to returns true if the right value is greater than or equal to the left value. It is same. I mean, there is nothing much to explain here. For example, 10 is greater than or equal to 10 is true. Why? Because 10 is greater than or equal to 10. 5 is less than or equal to 8 is true. Why? Because 5 is less than 8. 7 is greater than or equal to 10 is false, because 7 is less than 10. Now, if you write a program like this, 10 is greater than or equal to 10, if you are printing, what will be printed? True. True will be printed. Then, the next one is 12 is greater than 5, true. And the next one is 7 is greater than or equal to 10. It is false, right? Now, logical operators. Let us look at logical operators. Now, logical operators combine multiple conditions into a single statement. Logical operators combine multiple conditions into a single statement. What does that mean? You may have multiple conditions, but you can combine all of them in one statement. It operates on Boolean values. So, logical operators operate on Boolean values. Now, what are the three logical operators? One is AND, other is OR, other is NOT. AND, OR, NOT are the three logical operators. Now, coming to AND, it will return true if both the conditions are true. And coming to OR, it will return true if at least one of the condition is true. I will show you the truth values. And coming to NOT, it will invert the Boolean value. True will become false and false will become true, right? For those who are new to this programming, I will explain you what is AND, OR and NOT. For those who already know, you can skip this video. So for example, if you are talking about AND truth table, if I take true, if I apply AND, I am going to get true. If I take true, false, if I apply AND, I am going to get false. If I take false, true, if I apply AND, it is going to give me false. If I take false, false, and if I apply AND, it is going to give me false. It is going to give me false. Okay, so what does it mean? AND gives true value only when both the operators are true, and it gives false value for all the other cases. That is the meaning of it. Coming to OR, how does it work? If it is true, true, true or true is true, true or false is true, false or true is true, false or false is false. So what does it mean? So R gives true value, R gives true value only when R gives true value only when at least one of them is true. Only when at least one of them is true. When both of them are false, it will give you false value. Now coming to not, if it is true, you will get false, not will give you false. If it is false, you will get true, not will give you true. Now examples of AND operation. So let's see some examples here. So AND will give you true only if both the conditions are true. AND will give you true only if both the conditions are true. For example, A equal to 5, B equal to 10, C equal to 15. A less than B. Is A less than B? Yes, A is less than B. Is B less than C? Yes, B is less than C. So both of them are true. That is why the output, when you are printing the output, you are seeing the true, right? You please do it in Google Colab. I'm not showing it in Google Colab because slides is easy for me to show. And one more example. A equal to 10, B equal to 5. A is greater than B. Yes, A is greater than B. B is greater than 10. B is not greater than 10. B is equal to 5, which is not greater than 10. That is why one of the conditions failed. That is why the output is false. Output is false. Okay. Now coming to R. Coming to R. A equal to 5, B equal to 10, C equal to 15. A is greater than B. A is not greater than B, right? It is false. B is less than C. Yes, B is less than C. It is true. One of them is true. That is why it is true. One of them is true. That is why it is true. Now, A is 10. B is 5. A is greater than B. It is right, right? So 10 is greater than 5. It is right. B is greater than 10. B is greater than 10. So this is true. A is greater than B is true. Right. B is greater than 10 is false. B is 5. It is not greater than 10. So at least one of them is true. That is why the answer is true. Now coming to not operator. A equal to 5, B equal to 10. Is A greater than B? A is greater than B. It is false. Now when you apply not to false, it will be true. It will be true, right? Now is A less than B? Is A less than B? Yes, A is less than B, which means this is true. And when you apply not to true, it is going to be false. It is going to be false, right? Now there is something called as short circuiting or short circuiting. Now what is short circuiting is, you don't have to evaluate all the conditions. You can stop somewhere, right? I will show you the examples. So the end operator stops evaluating as soon as it occurs a false condition. What it means is, I will tell you with example, right? So let us see this example. A equal to 5, B equal to 10 is there. A is greater than B is there. So is A greater than B? A is not greater than B, which means this one is false, right? So whenever one condition is false in the AND operator, you don't have to evaluate the other condition, because whatever the other condition is, the entire expression will turn out to be false. Are understanding it? Whenever one condition is false, you don't have to go and evaluate the other condition. Because why? Because already one condition is false, therefore the output is going to be false. Even if you evaluate the other one, it is useless. That is why. Okay. So what is the advantage of it? It actually improves the efficiency. by avoiding unnecessary checking. You don't have to check it unnecessary, right? So once you know that A is greater than B is false, you can stop the evaluation there, okay, and declare that it is false, right? Okay, let's see this. A is less than B. This is true. A is less than B is true. B is less than C is true. C is greater than D is false. C is greater than 10. Yeah, this is also true, sorry. 15 is greater than 10, right? So when all of them are true, all the conditions have to be evaluated, right? So what did we do? We have checked if A is greater than B. Yes, so we have moved forward. Then checked if B is greater than or equal to C, B is greater than C. Then we moved forward. Then we check this, A is greater than C. In case if any one of them happens to be false, we will not move forward. Okay. So in general, what can we say is, if there are conditions like this, C1 and C2 and C3, so C1 and C2 and C3 and C4, so on Cn, if C2 happens to be false, we will not evaluate all of this. Then there is no need of further evaluation, right? Now, when will Cn be evaluated? When you are evaluating Cn, it means that from C1 till Cn minus 1, from C1 till Cn minus 1, from C1 till Cn minus 1, all are evaluated to be true, right? When all of them happens to be true, then only we will check Cn, otherwise we will not check Cn, okay? Okay, now let us look at short circuiting in OR. So in OR, in AND what happens? Whenever you find a false, you will stop there. But in OR, whenever you find a true, you will stop there. The reason is, see, let us say there is a condition, there is OR, there is a condition, there is OR, there is a condition, something like this. Now, if this is false, we will check this. If this is true, that is sufficient. If this is true, the entire expression value will turn out to be true because of the ORs. Because of the OR we have, the entire expression turns out to be true, right? Which means you don't have to evaluate C3. That is what is written here, right? So for example, if you see A equal to 5, B equal to 10 is given, right? A is less than B, it is true. A is less than B is true. Is B greater than 15? B greater than 15, this is false. So actually, whenever A is less than B, when this happens to be true, this will not be evaluated at all. That is unnecessary. If A less than B, if one of the condition happens to be true, we will start evaluating from there. Okay. Now, for example, if you have this entire conditions, 3 conditions with 2 R's. So A is greater than B, false. A is not greater than B. B is greater than C, false. B is not greater than C. Then C is equal to 6, true, right? So in this case, we have to evaluate all the conditions till the end because we didn't get any plus. So we have to go till the end. Okay. So basically, in case of short circuiting in R, if there is a condition like this, C1, C2, if there is an expression like this, C1 or C2 or C3 or so on, Cn, if we get true anywhere, for example, let us say C2 is true, we will not evaluate all this C3, C4, so on, Cn. We will not evaluate. If C2 is true, we will not evaluate the remaining. We will not evaluate the remaining if C2 is true. Okay. Now, when will Cn be evaluated? if all of these happens to be false, then only Cn will be evaluated. When will Ck be evaluated? If all the conditions before it, C1, C2, C3, so on, Ck minus 1. If all these conditions are false, then only we will evaluate Ck. Otherwise, we will not evaluate Ck in general. Okay. Now let us see how to handle numbers in logical operators. Let us see how to handle numbers in logical operators. Okay. So in Python, 0 is false. 0 is false, 0.0 is false, anything other than that is true. Okay. So now let us see how AND behaves. In Python, there is an interesting property of AND operator, that is, when all the conditions are true, it returns the last evaluated value. So what is the meaning of it? See, in Python, 0 and 0.0 are false. All the other values are true, which means this is true, this is true, this is true. Now whenever in Python, if AND operator is, okay, see this, there is interesting property of AND operator is that when all the conditions are true, it returns the last evaluated value, right? See this. So this is true, this is true, this is true. Then what will be returned is, by this one, if I try to print result, if result equal to 3 and 5 and 5 and 10, and if I try to print result, it will print 10. It will print the value 10. Why? Because that is the last evaluated value, right? Now in this case, if there is any value in the sequence that is false, it immediately returns that without evaluating further. See, this is true, this is false, right? So whenever it comes across a false, it will stop there. It will not go and evaluate the remaining numbers. It will directly return you that number. It will directly return you that number which is false. It will directly return you that number which is false, right? Where the false has happened. So if everything is true, then the last value is returned. If there is a false statement, then that first false is going to be returned. First false, okay? And operator behavior. So I told you 0 and 0.0 are false. Anything other than that is true, right? So for example, if you write like this, 1 and 0 and 7. So 1 is true, 0 is false. It will stop there. It will not evaluate further, and it will give you 0 directly. Okay. And OR operator, how does it behave is similar. OR operator, when any condition is true, it returns the first evaluated truth value, right? For example, this is true, this is true, this is true. Now OR will stop whenever it sees a true value, which means OR will stop here. Evaluation of OR will stop there. It will not go forward, right? And it will give you that first true value that it has encountered. So what is the true value here? 3, right? Got it? Now if you write something like this, 0 or 0.0 or null, then what happens if all the values are false? See, empty string is also represents false. 0 represents false, 0.0 represents false, and empty string also represents false. Okay. So what happens in this case is, when all the values are false, it returns the last value, which means empty string will be returned. That is why you are not seeing anything here, right? When all of them are false, the last value, which is nothing but empty string, will be returned. And then OR operator behavior, we have already discussed this. Okay. So when you have 0 or 4 or 7, then this will be false, this will be true, this will be true. or will stop at the first true value and it will return that value. Okay, we discussed it. Now, chaining comparison operators. So how are you going to chain them? So what is chaining is, it allows comparison of multiple conditions in a single expression. So in a single expression, you can combine multiple conditions in a single expression. For example, you can write something like this. 1 is less than x less than 10. This is equivalent to checking two conditions. 1 is less than x is less than 10. 1 is less than x is less than 10. Now if you assume x equal to 7, 1 is less than 7 is true, 7 is less than 10 is true, both of them are true, therefore result of this chain is true, right? So if you have written like this, x equal to 7, print 1 is less than x is less than 10. Yes, 7 is between 1 and 10, therefore it is true. True will be printed. This is called chaining. Now, for example, if you do like this, 10 is less than x less than 20, right? Now if you put x equal to 5, let us say x equal to 5. Now 5 is not between 10 and 20, right? Therefore 10 is less than 5 will be false. 10 is less than 5, this condition. 10 is less than 5 will be false. But 5 is less than 20 is true. But since one of them is false, the result will be false, right? So if you see this, x equal to 5, result equal to x is less than x, 10 is less than x, x is less than 20. The result is going to be false. So guys, we are working really hard to bring this course to you for free. All that we expect from you is to subscribe to the channel, tell about this course to your friends, please share and comment so that our reach will increase. That is the only thing that we are asking from you. Okay, thank you so much. If you want to take my GATE classes, we go to the website Ravindrababu.in and you are going to see all my GATE classes available there. Okay, so coming to the classes, they are all recorded. Why am I doing recorded? Why am I not doing live classes? Is I have thousands of students registering for my courses every year, but then if I conduct a live class, only 20 or 30 people will be there. 20 or 30, that's it. Maximum is 40 I had. The reason is live classes are little bit wasting your time. See, you cannot watch a live class at 2x speed. You have to watch at the pace at which I teach. Generally, I will be very, very slow while teaching. So if you can go through the live classes, you can watch them at 2x speed and you can complete the syllabus very fast. 400 plus hours content is there for GATE. And if you are going to watch them at normal pace, it will take 400 hours. But if you watch it at 2x speed, it will take just 200 hours, right? So if you want any of my GATE classes, GATE Computer Science or GATE DA, the price is just 10,000 rupees. It is very, very reasonable for the kind of quality we provide. We have test series, we have doubt sessions, we have videos, we have lecture notes for everything. Even you don't have to write any lecture notes. I will provide you lecture notes for every subject. You just have to sit back, watch the videos at 2x speed and revise the notes. Short notes will be provided, long notes will be provided, formulas will be written in a separate notes. Everything will be there provided to you. You don't have to work hard. And coming to, if you are planning to go abroad, we also have study abroad program. You can go through my number. My number is on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is in the website. If you are planning to do masters abroad, that is a very good choice. It is better than doing masters in India. So if you are planning to go abroad, we will help you out right from taking the passport to getting the visa, US visa, right? So we will help you out in the entire process. Okay. So do visit the website, see what is happening there. Even DSA course is there for 5,000 rupees, which is both in Python and C++. Okay. So thank you so much.